one of the typical issues that clients tell us when talking to them about purchasing is that they are unable to properly have purchase orders sent out to the vendor and store committed costs. Now, the main reason behind it is there's no way to save pricings of these different items by vendor or job special pricing. Now, Plexxis can handle both. In Plexxis, if you look at the items, you can see individual items with multiple pricings by vendor. Each one of these are different vendors and the vendor specific pricing. So when a PO is made for a job to a particular vendor, this is the pricing that gets pulled in. Now, wait, there are times you have a negotiated rate for items which is job specific. How do we handle that? Now, let's say we have set up a brand new job. Here's a job. Now, if there is a negotiated rate on this job for a vendor, all I have to do is go to job special pricing, select the vendor that we have a negotiated rate for, and then just say add all estimated items. It brings in the default pricing, which was estimated. Now I can say this one, based on my negotiation, I'm getting it for 9.5. This one is $8, and this one is 0.5, and so forth. I can change and establish a job special pricing. So if I ever make a PO for this job for L&W, the pricing that I get is the job special pricing. If there is no job special pricing, I will get a vendor specific pricing. So
does when I click the get price button, is that the export?
Get all pricing would get the pricing from the vendor.
Okay, got it.
So now, one of the other fortunate way of handling this is, let's say you have a separate job, a brand new job that you had, but the vendor just says, bring in the negotiated rate from the other rate. I'll just be okay with that. You can copy the list from another job without having to go through the whole list and change the pricing. So save, close. Now I'm going to make a PO on this job. If I go to purchase orders and I say my vendor, I'm going to say L&W because that's the person I negotiated my rate with. Now if I go to job special pricing, you can see all the rates over here. So if I simply select a random item, the system is going to bring in no cost because this is a default pricing. There isn't, L&W doesn't have a pricing for this item. But if I was to go in and say bring in one of my estimated items, you'll notice that the estimated, it brings in the job special pricing. As you can see here, the costing method is job special pricing. Now you made a PO, you brought in your job special pricing, but this item you want to call up L&W and ask them for a pricing. Well, you call up the vendor, ask them, hey, can you tell me what's the pricing for this item? The vendor gives you a pricing. On the fly, you could simply go ahead and plug in the pricing, right click and add it to vendor pricing. Well, let's say you have a negotiated pricing for this rate. You can even just put in 0.45 and right click and say update job special pricing. This way you have established a job special pricing in the beginning of the job, but still have the ability to build your database and job special pricing database on the fly while you make POs.
Okay, cool.
Now let's talk about this more. Once a year, twice a year, you might get a price update from your vendors. How do you massively update them? Just go into purchasing AP, advanced option, vendor item pricing. Now if I select my vendor, let's say one of my vendors is Lafarge, and I can specify, it brings in all. Now Lafarge tells you, hey, there's just price updates on my steel items or insulation. You can simply specify the item, so you do not need to work on the entire pricing list at the same time. You can see this effective 09/01/20 price increase by 1.5. Just increases the pricing of the selected group, and that's it.
We are